Welcome, everybody, to our very special tribute to the one and only Robert Redford. This is your host, Jim Masters, and it's a pleasure to have you here on our show. We do have a special guest that's joining us, a celebrity guest that we all know and love, who's going to be joining us in just a second. And there we are. Welcome, everybody. This is something we put together very quickly because we wanted to honor and celebrate a true icon, a legend, and also one of the sweetest guys in Hollywood. I had the opportunity, very, very blessed, to work with Robert Redford on a very special event at Carnegie Hall in New York City. It was called Way of the Rain, and it's a wonderful presentation of Robert and his lovely wife, Sybil Cigars Redford, and Tim Janis, our dear friend, the incomparable composer, and so much more, and a whole host of people who came together for this extraordinary environmental film and musical presentation at Carnegie Hall. And I had an opportunity to be a part of that and also MC the VIP celebrity party afterwards with Robert and Sybil and a lot of other celebrities that were there. And it was just tremendous. And also, and I'll make mention of this a little bit later, something really, really special. There's a PBS special that's going to air in November of this year. And it's very exciting because I'm hosting the in-studio television breaks for this special, which is called Our Natural World. And it's a presentation of composer Tim Janis and his lovely wife and vice president of the Tim Janis Ensemble, Elizabeth Demert Janis. And it's breathtaking. And it's a beautiful PBS special that's going to be airing. And I'm hosting the in-studio segments, and Robert Redford is narrating the special. So a lot of connections to Bob, as he's affectionately called and liked to be called as well, a very warm and curious and fascinating gentleman. Obviously, we all learned that he passed away just a day or so ago, and everybody is still thinking about him, still remembering him. There's all kinds of commentary and news updates and tributes and things of that nature. So we wanted to put together something very special to honor a wonderful person I had an opportunity to meet and have an opportunity to work with, but also all of you have had an opportunity to watch and celebrate on your television screens and in the movie theaters, literally for decades. Extraordinary individual and truly an American icon, if not international icon on so many levels. Born Charles Robert Redford Jr., August 18th, 1936. He passed on the 16th of September, 2025. American actor, director, matter of fact, Oscar-winning director as well. He received numerous accolades, including an Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, 5 Golden Globe Awards, including the 1994 Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Award, the 1996 Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award, a 2002 Academy Honorary Award, the Kennedy Center Honors in 2005, the 2016 Presidential Medal of Freedom, the 2019 Honorary César. He was also named by Time as one of the 100 most influential people in the world back in 2014. And, it's easy to see why, because he's touched the lives of so many people. When you see his filmography, when you go back in time, see all of the movies he was in, the movies he also directed and produced, it's extraordinary. He started his career in television acting in Alfred Hitchcock Presents. And then, of course, we all know The Twilight Zone, before making his Broadway debut, playing a newlywed husband in Neil Simon's comedic play Barefoot in the Park. Of course, the movie as well. Redford made his film debut in War Hunt, and before finding leading man stardom acting in Barefoot in the Park in 1967, there was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in 1969, Jeremiah Johnson 1972, The Candidate 1972, The Sting 1973, and the last of which earned him the Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. Of course, his stardom continued in films such as The Way We Were in 1973, The Great Gatsby in 1974, 3 Days of the Condor in 1975, All the President's Men in 1976, The Electric Horseman in 1979, Brubaker in 1980, The Natural in 1984, Out of Africa in 1985. He later acted in Sneakers in 1992, All Is Lost 2013, Truth in 2015. He didn't stop. Our Souls at Night 2017, The Old Man and the Gun 2018. He also portrayed Alexander Pierce in Captain America, The Winter Soldier 2014, and Avengers Endgame in 2019. Extraordinary. His final work was executive producer on the television series Dark Winds from 2022 and continuing today. In it, he made a cameo in the 2025 episode of the series, which was his last on-screen appearance. But he's also narrating a special, again, a PBS special that you're going to enjoy, Our Natural World, coming up in November. He also, of course, directed the family drama starring Mary Tyler Moore and company. It was Ordinary People in 1980, which had won 4 Academy Awards, Best Picture, Best Director, and he directed 7 other feature films, including The Milagro Beanfield War, 1984, the period drama A River Runs Through It, 1992, the historical drama Quiz Show in 1994, the neo-western The Horse Whisperer in 1998, and the sports fantasy The Legend of Beggar Vance 2000. He also founded, of course, the Sundance Institute and, of course, the Sundance Film Festival, celebrating independent film and artists. That was founded back in 1981 and has always hosted the annual Sundance Film Festival, the largest independent film festival in the United States. He was also very active politically. He also believed in the environment. Really an extraordinary individual that we're celebrating here on the show. And again, we've got a guest joining us in just a minute. We want you, since we are coming live to you, to interact with us. Post in the comments some of your favorite performances from Robert Redford. Maybe we'll take a look at those and mention those as well. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel right now, you can chat in our live chat section where folks are chatting away and chatting with each other right now in the JMS chat room we have set up for you as well. So it's going to be a cool thing we're doing here, and I'm very, very excited. Again, moved very quickly because we wanted it to be timely. There are a couple of people, before we bring our guest on, who wanted to share some wonderful memories with Robert Redford. There's a few people who wanted to be here tonight to join us, but they're out of town and they're away and they're at either family events or they're in production right now. One is the incomparable Anne Serling. Anne is a dear friend and a dear friend of our show. And of course, her father, Rod Serling from The Twilight Zone. And of course, you know that Robert Redford made the appearances in The Twilight Zone that have left an indelible mark in entertainment and television history. Well, Anne said she was very deeply moved and deeply saddened by the loss of Robert Redford. And she knows the friendship that she and her dad, Rod Serling, had, and the consummate professional that Robert was. And of course, is always tickled when she sees Robert on The Twilight Zone, which was her dad's baby. And she was a guest on our show. And if you didn't see that incredible episode, it's archived on our YouTube channel as well. Actor and producer Scott Bryce also wanted to be here as well, but he sent along something really, really cool. Now, you know him from all the daytime dramas, film, stage, television. He's a prolific actor and he's a wonderful guy. And he's also a dear friend. And he sent this along. He's got a family event today that was already, because we put this together quick. So he was already committed to the family event. But Scott Bryce wanted to send his love to everybody, all of us and all of you. And he said, I will tell you, Robert Redford was an honor to work with incredibly supportive. He's very incredibly supportive of creatives. One quick story. Here's a story from Scott exclusively for us here on the show and for all of you. One quick story that Scott is sharing that made him laugh. He goes, as you know, both of my parents, Ed and Dorothy Bryce, were actors. and I would even say local celebrities in Connecticut. When we shot Up Close and Personal, Bob, again, everybody that knew Robert Redford close and personal, he wanted to be called Bob. He had just moved to Weston, Connecticut, which is in Fairfield County. He was joining a local private club that required an interview with the board. Bob told Scott it was all fairly awkward as they stumbled for something to talk about when he mentioned how many actors lived in the area in Connecticut, close to New York and Boston. After all, it was his great friend Paul Newman, who also lived in Connecticut, and he and Joanne Woodward founded the Westport Country Playhouse. It was his great friend Paul Newman that introduced him to the area. All in the room agreed that the Westport area was kind of a mini Hollywood, as the Westport book by Thomas DeLonge says, "Stars in Our Eyes" illustrates. Bob then said, quote, "I'm working with an actor from this area now." A board member asked, "Who, Bob?" Bob answered, "Scott Bryce." Bob told me everyone on the board leaned in. They leaned forward and they smiled, and the chair said, "You mean Ed and Dorothy's son?" That great story from Scott Bryce, who you see on your screen, the wonderful actor. He wanted to share that with us. Again, he wanted to be with us tonight, but he's committed to a family event. And then our dear friends, prolific composer, musician, producer of multiple PBS specials. I've had it up to work with him on the PBS specials and also at Carnegie Hall, and on some really beautiful things that Robert Redford was also involved in, and Dick Van Dyke and Angela Lansbury and Charles Shaughnessy were involved in. I don't know if you saw this movie, but it was fantastic. It was Buttons. You can still get it too, I believe, on DVD and all. And Dick Van Dyke stars in it with Angela Lansbury, and the narration in there, Robert Redford and Tim Janis worked on this, and Elizabeth. Dear friends, here's the special again that's coming out on PBS in just a matter of weeks. And I host the national in-studio segments, and Robert Redford narrates this. It's a beautiful, beautiful all nature special, celebrating nature with music, Tim's music. It's breathtaking. And of course, Robert Redford was very, very in tune with the earth, the environment, nature. This is from The Way of the Rain, which is his lovely wife, Sybil Cigars Redford's baby. And if you've never seen that, you should. It's something really, really incredible. And of course, when you think of Robert Redford, you think of things like working with Dustin Hoffman, as we mentioned, All the President's Men. That, of course, was something really, really incredible. If you've never seen that movie, you should make sure that you see it. So many. We just pulled up a few. 3 Days of the Condor. This will bring back some memories for you. A Walk in the Woods. He either starred in or directed or produced All Is Lost as well. Barefoot in the Park with Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda was just in the Northeast. She was given the Kate Award, Katharine Hepburn Award at the Katharine Hepburn Performing Arts Center in Connecticut just a couple of weeks ago, about a week ago, last weekend, actually. And of course, Brubaker. These are just a few. There's many. There's tons of them, folks. We just picked out a few that may tickle your fancy and your memory. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, another fantastic one. Dark Winds, and that's the later one there too. Yeah, that's the one. Well, that cover is that particular cover, that image. There he is with his friend Paul Newman, the two of them together. Really, really cool stuff. And there's a little teaser as far as our guest. Can you guess who our guest is? That's just a little teaser there for you. A couple more things we just want to show you here. Some of the other things that our friend Robert Redford was in. The Last Castle. And of course, The Natural. That was back in 1984 out of Africa. It's extraordinary, isn't it? Of course, there's Up Close and Personal and The Way We Were with Barbra Streisand. These are just a few of them, folks. So many, so many. And yeah, good stuff. And of course, he was on Perry Mason. He was on all the TV shows, as I mentioned, Maverick. Yeah, all the way back to 1960. He was on Maverick and Captain Brassbound's Conversion and Rescue 8 and Tall Story, The Deputy, Playhouse 90, Moment of Fear, Tate, The Iceman Cometh, Our American Heritage, Play of the Week, Naked City, The Americans, Whispering Smith, Route 66, Bus Stop, The New Breed, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, of course, in 1962, that unbelievable episode, The Twilight Zone. I don't want to give too much of the way in case you didn't see that episode, but it's worth seeing. He was on Dr. Kildare, Alcoa premiere. We'll talk about that. The Untouchables, the Dick Powell Theater, Breaking Point, The Virginian, Inside Daisy Clover, Situation Hopeless, This Property is Condemned, and on and on. Downhill Racer, on and on and on. The Candidate, as I mentioned, The Great Gatsby, The Sting, The Great Waldo Pepper, just to name a few. You can go into the archives and see all the different ones. There he is again in starring on Perry Mason. But and he talked about that recently too in an interview. I think it was about the case of the missing toupee. He laughed about it. I think it was all about this guy who was missing a toupee or something on that episode of Perry Mason. Also, Tim, this is a cool picture. Tim Janis, the amazing composer, and his lovely bride, Elizabeth Demmer Janis, they are incredible together. They live up in the Rocky Mountains now, and they're producing all kinds of incredible content. And they send their love. They are deeply saddened by the loss of Robert. They loved him dearly, as everybody. And so they wanted to be here as well, but they need some time because they have just been working with him on these projects that I've been telling you about. So Anne Serling and Scott Bryce and Tim Janis and Elizabeth all wanted to share their wonderful thoughts. Share your thoughts, post comments, let us know of all. Did we forget something? Sure we did. There's 10,000 different things that Robert Redford has done. An extraordinary individual, truly. Thanks for all these great comments that are piling in here. Our guest coming to us live from Hollywood. She was with us before, and I knew she had a very special connection early on in her life. She's got a beautiful story to share. Now, when I was speaking to her the other day, and we were talking about her having her join us here on the show, she could barely speak. She's been very, like everybody I've been describing, has been very, very moved and saddened by the loss of Bob Redford. So the fact that she's with us right now, in between the tears and the laughs, is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm talking about Tammy Locke. Yes, we love her. The last time she was with us, we had so many laughs. It was incredible. Former child, movie, television, commercial star, radio show host, roller derby queen, country music headliner, and also author as well. We'll talk about that. She's got a new book out. And she starred, she was a child star on The Monroes, that classic TV series. And she just has so many wonderful things to share with us, some photos, some stories, and Robert Redford. So without further ado, as we present to you this special episode of the Jim Masters Show, celebrating the one and only Robert Redford. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate you being here. We realize there's a lot of things you could be doing, but you wanted to spend time with us for this special episode, and we really, really appreciate it. Here is our dear friend, Tammy. Tammy, welcome back to the show, my friend. And, I wish it was for a different occasion than the passing of Bob Redford. However, it's always wonderful when you're here, and welcome back.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. And I am doing wonderful. I know it's very sad that he's gone, but what a legacy he left. And you have a phenomenal story that you're going to share with us, how you actually worked with Robert Redford at a very, very tender young age. Tell us about that.
Well, Robert Redford turns out to be my very first father coming into the business. What happened was my sister Cheryl had already been in the movies with Father Goose and I Saw What You Did and I Know Who You Are and other things. And she got a call to come in and audition for Alcoa Premieres hosted by Fred Astaire, a segment called The Voice of Charlie Pont. And so my mother couldn't find a babysitter for me that day. I was 18 months old and cantankerous, of course. But she couldn't find, she couldn't find a babysitter, and so she had to bring me with her. And so the secretary of the people there said she would watch me with no problem. And my sister and my mother went into the room where the director and the producer and everybody was in just to take a look at Cheryl and see how she was. Now, Cheryl's 5 years older than I am. And so the secretary got up and she went for a cup of coffee and left an 18-month-old child sitting on the couch, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I knew where my mother was and my sister Cheryl. And so I just got up and I went and I opened up the door and it hit somebody when I pushed it open. But I walked in and I said, Mommy, potty. And everybody looked at me and then they looked at my sister Cheryl and looked at me and they looked at my mother and they said, we want her, not her. So the Lord actually guided the hand in putting me at the right place, right time with the greatest actors in the entire world.
When you later on realized as you got older, who these people were that you were involved with at that tender age, it must have bowled you over, huh?
Oh, more than bowled me over. My grandmother used to take me to all of the auditions, most of them, because my sister Cheryl was being taken by my mother on most of her auditions. So I remember one story where in The Voice of Charlie Pont, they filled up this pool. Well, they actually put me in the pool with no water in it. And so I looked around and I looked at the director and I said, there ain't no water in this there pool. And so the director had to get the hose and they brought it in from outside and they filled up the water in the pool and everything. And then they put some buckets and shovels and things like that in the pool to shoot the whole thing right then. And my grandmother had made me up and did my hair and everything. And as soon as the director saw me, he says, redo her hair. We want it just like this. And so my grandmother was a little upset, but you can't get upset about those types of things. That's just what happens in the business. And so when they put me back into the pool and they said, action, and I'm supposed to be playing and saying some words and things. At that age, I was actually trained to say different words and things like that on camera. And so I picked up the bucket and I filled it with water and I poured it over my head. And the director got really upset because he's like, stop it, cut, go get her dried off and redo her hair. We got to shoot this whole scene over again. Who put that bucket in that pool? This time, leave that bucket out. We don't want her to get all wet.
That is.
But I'm so honored. As I grew up for many years, I was so honored to have known that the very first father of myself in the business was Mr. Robert Redford. So don't mind me.
No. Now you got the Kleenex. The Kleenex and the cat are right near you, right?
You know it. But it was a wonderful time. And I've got some stories in my book called I Can Do Anything. And that's one of the stories. There are quite a few of them actually in the book about that particular production of The Voice of Charlie Pont, with Bill Bixby and Robert Redford, and Diana Hyland was my mother. You'll remember her by being John Travolta's first love of his life.
That's
and
right.
So, yeah.
I know.
So
She was on Eight Is Enough originally, and
Yes, she was. Yes,
then
she was.
then Buddy Buckley
Yeah.
took over,
Yep.
took the role afterwards as well. Um, you know, do you recall where you were when you heard that Robert Redford had passed?
Yeah, sitting right here in my living room, and I was watching television, and you just start crying
Yeah,
because it affected my entire life. Feeling so good about it. Don't mind me. But he was a great man, and over the years, I tried to set up a photo op between him and myself. I kept sending letters and stuff and telling them who I was and what I was in, and he was just so busy. His schedule was so busy. We could never bring it together. I wanted to put it in my son Robert's time capsule. The photo, oh, mommy acted with the great Robert Redford. So, tried, but it never happened. And it's really weird because last week on Thursday, I sent he hadn't died at the time. And I sent another email asking for that photo op, after all these years. And it was just really weird yes, the other day I turned on the TV and found out that he had died. So
I
don't
know.
mind me.
What's amazing is he is one of those people. There's a few people out there, a part of our lives all these years, that you just think are always going to be there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like you kind of always thought Lucille Ball or Jackie Gleason. And God bless the fact that Dick Van Dyke still with us, approaching 100. Carol Burnett as well. But Robert Redford was just so vibrant and so
He
connected.
was. He
So,
was. Did you see that recent picture of him? He looked
yes,
great. Oh my
like yeah,
gosh.
yeah. Every time
He looked great.
when I saw him, he looked fantastic.
He
Uh,
did.
we
Crazy.
It was really amazing when we were at Carnegie Hall. There was one particular moment when they were doing the environmental film and Tim Janis's music, and it was just spectacular at Carnegie Hall, and I was involved with that, and it was a blessing to be involved in. And there was a one point where we're upstairs in this small sort of booth area where they can sort of direct the projection and the images and the lighting, and Robert Redford's lovely and super talented wife, Sybil
Yeah.
Cigars Redford,
Sybil.
they
Yep.
were both sitting in this chair where they can overlook, they were running around too during everything. Al Gore was there, and it was really amazing, the people that were there. But they're in these two chairs, like producing it and directing it and doing it. And I was right behind them at one point with, I think it was with Tim and some other folks. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the back of Robert Redford's head with the full hair and of course, lovely Sybil. And I'm saying, wait a minute, I'm actually in sort of like a directorial booth at Carnegie Hall in New York City, sitting right, literally just like five of us in this sort of booth where action is happening, and he's sort of directing it and producing it, and she is. And I'm like, yeah, what? And it was really just to be right there with them, and we were together
Oh
throughout.
yeah.
But that
Yeah.
particular about just being in that booth while he's working, and he's
Amazing.
and very relaxed too. He's leaning back, his leg is crossed, and he's very calm. And while all this action is happening, and it was just really, absolutely, I'll always remember that as well. And there was a couple of times that we had chatted in between too, but he was really something. And he was very involved in life. That's the thing. He was involved in so many aspects of life, right? The
Yeah.
nature, the environment, creative works of television and film, and a brilliant actor and a wonderful Oscar-winning director. I mean,
Yeah.
Ordinary People, Mary Tyler Moore and company. I mean, Donald Sutherland. That's one of the great performances in movies. And I remember when that came out and people were like, Mary Tyler Moore, she can't be acting in that kind of a movie. Very
Yeah.
serious and very stoic. She's, Laura Petrie. But
Wow.
the direction and her acting and everybody, Donald Sutherland and everybody, it was really extraordinary. And
Yeah.
just, do you have, other than the one that you're in, do you have a favorite production or two of Robert Redford's? Of course, The Way We Were and Sting. It's
Oh
just,
my goodness.
and we
We
invite our
just
viewers to
watched
share
it the
theirs
other
too.
day, The Horse Whisperer, because I was raised with 9 horses, and so I love that one. Um, and of course, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance. He was fantastic, and I mean, what everything that he's ever appeared in, he's been absolutely unbelievable. And I have searched and searched and searched for any production photos of Robert Redford and I. I have a couple of Diana Hyland and I from The Voice of Charlie Pond, if you want to show everybody. But um, I want to
That one
find
there.
something.
That's one.
Yes, she is
That's
so gorgeous.
Now
And
look at that.
there I am.
There
There I
is
am.
Tammy Locke in the arms of Diana Hyland.
There was another one where she's throwing me up in the air and playing with me. And yeah,
That's
that one was
unbelievable. Look at
fun.
that.
But I have searched and searched. Boy, if anybody knows where a photo production photo is of Robert Redford and I from The Voice of Charlie Pond, I would be so grateful. Email me, Tammy@tammylocke.com. So,
Right,
but
exactly.
I absolutely have adored that man all of my life, and just being honored. Feeling the honor of knowing that I worked with him on the very first gig that I ever, did as a little girl. That has basically just made my life. And so I'm very, very honored.
Your on-screen father, I know that it's a
Yeah.
very special place to be in the
Yeah.
annals of Hollywood history, my friend. And then, of course, I don't know if you ever had a chance to go to Utah and experience the Sundance
No, I
Film
wanted to
Festival.
so bad one year, but I ended up, I didn't make it. I had an accident or something happened and I ended up not going, but I wanted to, trust me.
What an incredible thing that he came up with the Institute, and then, of
Yeah.
course, the film festival celebrating. He was, here he is in Hollywood, major blockbuster, epic films and TV series and more. But he
Yeah.
wanted to celebrate those who are up and coming, those who are, maybe struggling to get some notice, to be able to get the visibility and maybe even the funds to see those projects come to fruition. And here he
Yeah.
creates this where people get a chance to show their wares, which I think was fantastic. It was a beautiful thing that he did. And just one of the many things as part of Robert Redford's legacy, right?
Yeah, it sure is. Absolutely. I worked with some pretty great people as a little girl in the movie business. And gosh, it just seems like a dream, a dream come true for the most part. And so I put all those things in my book and a lot more things. I'm probably the only girl, that was actually raised with a real flying saucer.
And you're the roller derby
And
queen
I was
too.
in professional roller derby. That's right. I was trained by the famous John Hall and Ralphie Valadares of the LA T-Birds. That was a time in itself. I absolutely loved it. I skated with Skinny Minnie Miller and Patsy Delgado, and oh my gosh, who didn't I skate with? For roller derby. I was on the Detroit Devils. That's who I was casted on, and so I played number 22, and I absolutely loved it. It came at a time, of course. Then I had to choose between touring with my band, who were the family band from the famous Tex Williams, Smoke, Smoke, Smoke That Cigarette. And so I ended up choosing, touring with my band. And so the band was made up of Dennis Orr and Russ Paul Orr, nephews of Tex, and Marty Rifkin, and Sam Aiello was married to Tex's only daughter, and Sandy. And gosh, Marty turned out to be a huge producer in Santa Monica. Basically, he's worked with all the A-list people, and we had Christopher Nielsen, and just a lot of different people that kind of sat in doing the band, doing songs and stuff like that. So it was a wonderful time. I had to learn 3 shows worth of songs, and we came around as Miss Tammy Jean and the California Express.
So you did a lot of things. You had your hands in a lot of different elements
I
of
did.
the entertainment world. Is that something you set out to do? Or I guess once you start out with Robert Redford.
Yeah. Where do you go from there, huh?
Right? But you've had your hands, and now you're an author as well. You've had your
I'm
hands
an
in
author.
so many things, huh? Kind
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
Robert Redford, who was always involved in so many different projects. And
Yes,
you know
yes.
what?
And then I ended up starring, in the Monroes, the TV Western, the Monroes, as Amy Monroe. And how I got that position, or that
Role.
role, as one
Yeah.
would say, was the network called my mother and asked to bring me down for an audition for the TV series. It wasn't announced to us at that point in time what it was. And when we arrived, I literally walked right past the producer of the show, right past him, and I walked into his office, and I jumped up on his official desk, threw my feet up on the desk, and grabbed his telephone and pretended I was making $1 million, deals. He says, "Well, if you've got the guts to do something like that, you just landed the role of Amy Monroe in our TV series, The Monroes." And so that's how I got it. I didn't even have to audition. I just did things, and I ended up, having the greatest life one could possibly have. I've pretty much done it all.
You really, really
including
have.
including Jim, I was even a radio show host.
That's right. I mentioned that in the introduction as well, which and
Just
much,
like you, my love.
absolutely. And touching upon all the aspects of the industry, which I think is wonderful. We do have some other cool photos. You can maybe
Yeah,
show us some of these other things, and then we'll
right.
talk
That's a
more about
promo
Robert.
shot.
Batman,
That's a
huh?
promo shot of Batman and I, because I believe Batman was a lead in to the Monroes. And
That's
so
Adam
they
West,
wanted to
right?
put us together. Pardon me?
That's Adam West.
Yes, it is. The
Right.
original Batman, Mr. Adam West.
Adam
Yep.
West, right there.
Yeah. So they
Wow.
put us together. There's another one out there where I'm standing in the original Batcave, and I've got the Batman t-shirt on, and I'm looking up at Adam West, and he was so tall, probably I would say at least 6'2", if anything at all. And here I am, I don't know how tall I am, 3 feet possibly. But those were the promo shots that they decided to capture, because Batman was the lead in to the Monroe's TV series. And while you've got the audience with the Batman series, it just goes right on into the Monroes, and that's how it happened.
That's amazing. It really is. Got another great shot here.
That's my band. So Russ is on. Well, I'm not sure how you guys are looking at it, but the tall guy is Marty Rifkin. Right next to him is Dennis Orr. Right next to him is Sam Aiello, and right next to him is Russ Paul Orr. And Dennis is the only one that has passed on, but his memory still resides in all of our hearts, and we absolutely love him. All the rest are all over. Marty's, gosh, he's recording everybody and then some. Some of the people that he recorded was Elton John and Tom Petty when Tom Petty was alive, and Bruce Springsteen. He appears with Bruce every once in a while. So Marty's really, really busy. Sam Aiello, he's a real estate, I think he's an appraiser. And then Russ Paul, he plays in gigs here and there every once in a while with the Doobie Brothers and Leonard Skinner and stuff like that. So he's still playing. He's on YouTube. He's known as the Hummingbird. That's what I guess it's under, but it shows him playing the guitar, and he's just so fast. It's crazy. And there's one of my shots, and that's Russ right next to me. And I've got 3 titles from the famous Palomino of North Hollywood, and that's Singer of Singers, Miss Queen of Song, and Miss Globe. I even entered a bathing suit contest and won. Of all things. And those pictures are in my book. My book's got it's almost 500 pages, and it's mostly photos, and stories that go with the photos. So it's been something. It's been a real ride. That's me in St. Louis. You'll see that Judy Garland is on the bottom disc, and the top disc is the one that I did. I'm in it. I played Tootie, who was the sister of and of course, I just forget everything.
Everybody does. They do.
But Morgan Brittany was in it. She was Susie Capetto, and Shelley Fabre was in it, and Celeste Holm, and Wesley Addy, and just some great. It was a TV pilot. They were trying to make it into a TV pilot. The famous movie is what happened, and so I did that as well. And it's so I'm sold all over the place. And they just remastered and released the Monroes. So it's been out there now for about 6 or 7 years. And when it first came out, it was funny because I had gone to Hidden Figures where Kevin Costner was. And this story is in the book as well. And Kevin Costner and the whole cast of Hidden Figures, came down off of the stage, and I ran over to him and I said, Mr. Costner, respectfully asking, could I just have a moment with you? And he says, yes, of course. And then I told him who I was. And he says, Tammy, you're kidding me. He says, Amy Monroe? No way. He says, would you believe I grew up watching the Monroes? It was my favorite TV series. And then he just kept going on as to why. He says, the reasons are, he says, great writers. And it was filmed in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and the scenery was just killer. It was just one of my favorite TV series. And so, I have that memory with Mr. Kevin Costner, telling me that he was in love with me. So that was pretty cool too.
So let's see. Robert Redford, Kevin Costner. I think you even mentioned Fred Astaire earlier.
Yeah. Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood too. That's right.
Yeah, I was in Hang 'em High. I sure was. And I was in Gunsmoke with Buck Taylor, and just different things. It was a whirlwind of being raised in the entertainment business. But one thing my father always taught us is that can't got stuck in the mud and it's still there. Choose another way. So if we went up to our father and we said, Daddy, I can't do that, he'd always say, little girl, can't got stuck in the mud. It's still there. Choose another way. So if you're raising your child and you're consistently telling your child that, your child, all he can do or she can do is just dream big and carry out anything they choose to do. And so if they're running down, if their avenue is not panning out, they have the choice of making a different choice and choosing a different occupation or a different, avenue or whatever it is. And so that's how I have learned to be as positive as possible. And that's what I try to be on Facebook with all of my fans and things is they'll tell you how positive and,
Mhm.
of course they don't see me cry except for right now.
That's just
But I
for
mean,
us. That's just for us.
it's Robert Redford.
Exactly. So many like Route 66, of course, exactly.
Yeah.
You could spend weeks and weeks and weeks looking at his filmography but
Oh,
also
yeah.
again, the man too, and how plugged in, as I mentioned, to society and people and issues and the environment and nature and art
Yeah.
and supporting others. And, he's had moments in his life too that are human and that, there's loss and things of that nature and happiness and triumph. He was human, just like the rest of us,
That's right.
but very open and very real and very convincing in all of these roles, in all of these
Unbelievable. And
epic.
handsome to boot. Woo! Good Lord Almighty.
And you were probably wiggling that when you were 18 months old too, right?
Well, it was funny because back in the day when I was 19 years old, I actually married a man that looked so much like Robert Redford. So, but that didn't pan out. And then I met the true love of my life, Tom, and we've now been married for 29 years. So, we met
Congratulations.
by singing of all things. He walked up to me and asked me to sing a duet, and I said I'd absolutely love to. And I got up there and I didn't know what song he chose. And so he ended up choosing Unforgettable by Natalie Cole and Nat King Cole. And I'd heard it a couple of times, but I'd never sung it. And so I was winging it, I'll tell you. But as soon as I heard his voice, that's all it took.
On a wing and a prayer, right?
A wing and a prayer. Yes, I yes.
Slipping in a little Monroe's there for you.
Yeah, yes.
She can slip into that at any time, I tell you. So many great. Here's another great shot
Yeah.
of the gang, huh?
That's right. That's
You, s-
right. That's
you had,
our cabin that was
that's the
on the
cabin.
Snake River in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And it's funny because in the book, you'll read a story by Roy Garton. He ended up contacting me through Facebook, of all things. And he was actually on the Monroes when we were kids. And I didn't even know that. He was an extra. And he tells you this wonderful story how the Monroes filming there, we put the entire town, which was, I guess, hardly anything at the time, we put them to work, and that's how it became so big, and now everybody shoots there. So that's a pretty cool story that Roy talks about. So
That's amazing. That really is.
yeah,
Uh,
I've got a lot of people, a lot of my big star friends that wrote forewords for my book, or just memorams, Joe's, I guess that's how you say it. I don't know. But just the wonderful stories about how we grew up together and what I did and how it affected their lives and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool book. I'll tell you that right now.
how long did it take you to write it?
4 years. 4 years. It sure did. Because I'd never written a book before. The book was inspired by Shirley Jones, a very good friend of mine, Mrs. Partridge of the Partridge Family.
Oh, who didn't love
Yeah,
her?
we were toting back martinis in her hotel room when we were doing an autograph show one time. And she goes, Tammy, she goes, we love your son, because they kind of adopted my Tom and my son when he was about 7 years old. And they pretty much took him everything from 7 until he was about 17. And so he was in their lives all the time. So she said, Tammy, I always know everything about your son and everything, but I don't really know anything about you except for a couple of things that you did. And so I started telling her. And I said, but she goes, well, you've got to write a book. I said, Shirley, I can't write a book because there's a couple of things that we do, when we're bad.
Precocious.
I was a naughty little girl. When yes, a little bit I'd say more on the harder side, but but I just told her, I said, I can't put that stuff in the book. She goes, well, honey, she goes, that's what the fans love. They want to see how real you are. And so I said, okay, I'll put it in there, but I'm not proud of it. I mean, I'm not ashamed of it, but I'm not proud of it. Let's put it that way. It's something that I did in my, early 20s, and you do things and you're dumb, and it is what it is. And I'm not proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it either. So
Exactly. You've learned from it, right?
yes, I did. I really did. But there's a lot of really, really great stories. I mean, great stories in the book. One in regards to Charlie Daniels, how he, I was up on stage in Nashville, Tennessee. I believe it was at the Stockyard, and I went up on stage to sing, and everybody was really loud and going crazy in there. And Charlie Daniels came up on stage and says, "Everybody, be quiet. I want, this girl's got to sing. I want this young lady to sing." And so he kind of introduced me, and I ended up singing Crazy. And it turned out that Willie Nelson was in the audience. So, my business partner, Michael Diamond, actually saw a tear from his eye, but who knows, it could be one of two ways. Either you sounded really, really terrible, or you sounded so great you didn't know what to say. So it is what it is. There's just a lot of really great stories. There are some things that are bad, but hey, I am human, and
That's
I'm
the
not
beautiful
perfect. The
thing.
only thing that's perfect is God himself.
See, that's one of and I think I said this the last time you were on, folks. You can go back in the archives, especially on our YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and scroll back and see there's a really in-depth, deep dive we did with Tammy, and it was a lot of fun, and extraordinary.
It was a blast. I loved it. It was so great.
And I knew that you had the time with Robert, even at that tender age, and
Yeah.
you were very moved by his loss, and that you wanted to share a few things with us, which I
I
think is
did.
a beautiful thing to do, my friend. But I think it's because you are so real and so affable and so approachable and so fun. Even through the darkest times, you find, we were talking about this before we went live on the air, and for folks who are watching, we are live. So we invite you to post comments in the comments section. What are your favorite Robert Redford moments, movies, specials, shows? Let us know. Interact with us. Thanks everybody who's commenting around the world now too. We love having you here on the Jim Masters Show.
Yeah.
But I think it's all of that. Ever thought of going into comedian? I mean, you do have a natural timing.
That's what people say. That's what people say. I do have an agent, Jerry Pace with MZA, and I do have a manager, Ro Brooks of the Brooks Agency. And I've been doing some auditions here and there. I've never actually been given a chance. I keep waiting for Ron Howard to call me up, because his father, Rance Howard, was my drama or acting coach on the Monroes, and his brother Clint. And so I keep waiting for Ron to call me up and say, "Hey, I've got a bit part for you." And I'll say, "I'll take it." I'll take it.
I think I said this last time. You would be ideal placed in the front row of a comedy club where the comedian is bombing, because your laugh will get everybody else laughing.
Oh, I've been there and done that. Been there, done that. They escorted me out because I was too much.
So much. Laughing too
I
much?
was making the show. It was
They put the spotlight
I was
on
laughing. He was trying to downgrade. I can't remember what his name is, but anyways, he was trying to like diss me, I guess you could say, be mean.
Yeah.
And I reacted a little bit too much, and I just came back at him, I mean, yeah. I can't help it. It is what it is. When I was 15 years old, my dad sent me to karate classes, and I became 2 belts from a black. It was purple at the time.
Right.
But that's what saved me in professional roller derby was knowing moves. And because I was only about 90 pounds, 90, 95, maybe
Wow.
100. And so, when someone attacks you, I just believe that it's wrong. And so when he started attacking me and really saying mean things, I didn't appreciate it. And so I just came back at him. They just said, you got to leave. So it is what it is. I can't help it. Don't be mean to people. I don't appreciate being mean. So I don't, I try not to be mean to anybody. And I'm always looking at what I said. I'm always analyzing what I said. And if I feel that I said something wrong, I'll come back to that person and I'll say, you know what? I said something and I want to apologize to you right here and now. And I do that. I do that a lot because I just, the world needs love. And that's what I'm all about.
The world needs love. And Robert Redford certainly knew that through everything that he did, and he touched our lives in such an extraordinary way, as you do, my friend, as well. And
thank you, Jim.
And the legacy that Robert Redford has left, you're hearing all of the outpouring of comments, loving comments, people in shock, people sad, but also other colleagues, industry veterans, who are praising his work, his talent, his effort, his keen eye as a producer and director, and being able to inspire others and bring others into the fold. I mean, if you could take Laura Petrie and turn her into the role that she played on Ordinary People, Mary Tyler Moore, that's quite a gift. And of course, The Twilight Zone, everybody referencing that. He was so terrific in that episode, and so many other things. I think I heard him say this. I mentioned in the introduction, Perry Mason episode, when it, first starting out, one of the earlier things back around the 1960 or so. And it was, I think the episode was The Case of the Missing Toupee or something like that. And he was laughing about it, but how, Raymond Burr, Perry Mason, was going to get to the bottom of that case.
Well, I know he was very nice to my grandmother, Helen. My grandmere, that's I'm French, so French and English and Indian. But he was very nice to her. She absolutely adored him. He was so nice to her. So,
when I was working with him at Carnegie Hall, and just seeing him interacting with everybody, people, of course, were enamored. They were, whispering, "That's Robert Redford."
Yeah.
I didn't know Robert Redford was going to be here. Some of the other crew, and then when folks came in, they were just blown away. But working behind the scenes with him and seeing him, he wasn't loud, boisterous. He was like this, very observant, watching, suggesting, maybe if we move things over here, maybe if we go over here, the chair plays it, because he was on stage and he was reading and narrating as all of these breathtaking visuals were going on the backdrop of Carnegie Hall with a full orchestral treatment. And it was extraordinary. And it was the dream of Sybil, his wife, to put that all together. And it's something they still do. I think they just did another one not that long ago in the summer. They took it to other parts of the country, but he was still going. You know what I mean? He was still doing his thing. And so it was. Do you remember where you were when you heard that he passed?
Yeah, I was right here in my living room watching the news. I usually get up every day around 5 a.m. and I'll come in, make my coffee, and just take your pills or whatever it is that you do. And it was announced on television, and all I did was, from that point on, was just cry. That's all I did. He meant everything. He meant everything, even though, an 18-month-old child. I mean, I'm not going to remember, moments and things like that because I'm so young. but the impact that that man had on my life was huge, huge. That was, to me, I was the special angel that was chosen to be his daughter in the production of The Voice of Charlie Pott. And I'll never forget that. I'm very, very proud, very honored. And now you got me crying again. Dadgummit.
I've been known to do that. Do you think he knew the impact he had on you?
Honestly, I believe he did, because I did, as I told you earlier, I did write them letters to him and his people, basically, to the Sundance, and they wrote me back a letter. I'm sure it's in one of my historical tubs, but they were just so sweet. I was asking for a photo op, for my son's time capsule, but I told them at that point in time what Mr. Redford meant to me in my life. And it's just been a huge honor knowing that I am the daughter of the first daughter of Robert Redford in the business, or something, I'm hoping. But one can hope. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if prior to The Voice of Charlie Pott, if Robert Redford did another production of some sort where he had a child, but I'm just going to keep thinking that I'm the first daughter.
And also, again, like you said, working with Donna Hyland, who was
beautiful.
We lost her
Beautiful
way
lady.
too early.
Yeah.
And like you said, a brilliant actress. And the last project she was on, I believe, was 8 is Enough with Dick Van Patten.
Yeah.
And Willie Ames and all the kids. And Betty Buckley replaced her after when she passed. But she was with John Travolta at the time. They were together.
That's right.
Couple. I remember hearing about all of that. And so, even when you look back at that, here you are in her arms.
Yeah.
And
I believe I read somewhere, I'm so sorry for walking on top of you, but I believe I read somewhere. Yeah, I believe I read somewhere where Diana Hyland actually died in John Travolta's arms at the bottom of some staircase. He was filming Boy in the Bubble at the time, I believe.
That's right. That's right. She was on 8 is Enough, and he was filming that. Yeah, I was saying that you could see there's a genuine affection that she has in holding you as well. Sometimes you can see on the face of an actor or actress when they're placed with a child or a baby or an animal, and they're like, oh my God, I have to hold them. She really looks like she is loving
me. Yeah, she sure did. She spent a lot of time with me, from what my grandmother said, on the set, just, wanting to get those great shots and making sure that I fell in love with her and, cozied up to her and everything. She was very loving, is what I remember. Just, it was a wonderful time, wonderful lady.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love. There's the collector's edition as well.
That's on Amazon for $10. Kevin Costner's favorite series.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And look at this. Yeah,
that's right. Season 2, episode 4. Woo-hoo!
Now, is that to be found? Can anybody see that anywhere, or is it saved? Is it on one of the nostalgia channels?
You can go see it in Hollywood I believe it's the Paleo Center. They have, they've got productions on computers there, and you can actually watch the whole program or whole movie or whatever's in their library and things like that. So
the Paley Center for Media is incredible.
Yeah.
It used to be called the well, there's one in New York as well. If it's the same connection, the Museum of Broadcasting, and really epic. You're going to spend hours looking at all these vintage TV shows and everything else. So there's Fred Astaire. It was the Alcoa.
That's right.
Fred Astaire there.
Yeah. And it was funny, one year, the cast, which is my brothers, Keith and Kevin Schultz, and myself, were asked to appear in the Santa Claus Lane Parade. And guess who was the Grand Marshal? Mr. Fred Astaire himself.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool.
Did you ever get a chance to meet or be in the same room with Dick Van Dyke at
I
all?
didn't. I would have given anything, but my very good friend Bill Cobbs was in the movie Night at the Museum where Dick Van Dyke was, and Bill Cobbs and my Mickey Rooney. And so, matter of fact, Bill Cobbs wrote one of the forewords to my book. So I'm very blessed to have had that. He passed recently as well. Just a wonderful man. He was in The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I mean, just legendary movies. It's amazing that he is who he is as well.
You've had so many people,
Yeah,
in your life who have inspired
yeah,
you, including
yeah,
Robert Redford, which I think is quite extraordinary and quite rare. All the President's Men with Dustin Hoffman. That was an epic one too, huh?
yeah.
He's playing
Great
Robert
movie.
Redford.
I watched it. Yep,
Oh,
great.
yeah, yeah. When you look back, you're like, all of these different movies that he was in out of Africa, he was a part of that as well. And then so many again that he directed. The Natural, of course, The Sting. It's just unbelievable. The Way We Were, Memory.
Yeah,
And they
that
all,
was one of my favorites, The Way
yeah.
We Were, because learning how to sing when I was 14 years old, Barbara Streisand was one of the main records that I would play. I'd get all of my homework, do it all on Monday, and then Tuesday through Sunday, I would sing by getting albums like Barbara Streisand was first, and I'd just play her songs over and over again and try and figure out what she was feeling when she was delivering the song. And then I moved on to Diana Ross, and then I moved on to Patsy Cline, and the final person was Barbara Mandrell. So, and then I just turned me into me.
And we're the lucky ones.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
now you have the cat there and whatnot, and you thought that it was going to be a zoo. You thought they're going to make all the noises. There's dogs too, right? Yeah. And
My
you,
dogs are trying to knock over my camera as we speak.
is that what? Oh, well, I see a nose popping in.
You want to see my dogs?
Oh, absolutely.
Here's one.
Who
Let's
do we
see. Hold
have?
on.
Tell us who we have.
This is Precious. That's my Precious girl. They're both 140 pounds. Hold on. Let me go and I'll show the other one, Cali Girl. She's named after California because I live in California. Hold on. You'll see my face. But here's my Cali Girl. Hi, Callie. Did you see her? I don't know. I wasn't able to see the camera.
A little bit. Oh, moving around. There we go.
So that's my girls. They will kill anybody that walks into my house, which is a good thing. We don't darn them.
How long
But
have you been in that house? How many years have you been in that house?
29 years, 28, 29 years.
It looks like you have a lot of wonderful mementos and artifacts.
Yeah,
and
matter of fact, my husband just remodeled my kitchen, so I've got a gorgeous brand new kitchen. So I'm really happy about that. My husband is the best flooring installation man in 4 counties. Tom Oriola Flooring. He does Orange County, LA County, Riverside,
So
pretty much everywhere.
Are you basically trying to tell us that when you met him, you were floored?
I was definitely floored. We got a standing ovation. It was too funny when we sang Unforgettable. We actually got a standing ovation. They introduced us as TNT. So
I love the
it
wall
was funny.
behind you too. A lot of
yeah. And that's our son right there. That's Robert. He won one of the divisions, I guess it's called, of the Hawaiian tropics. Goodness gracious, what's wrong?
That is amazing, huh?
Let's see. This is my wall of our, that's Tom and I. Golly, I don't know what's up.
It flips back on you,
There's
right?
us. And my grandfather was in theater. Can you see him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he played blackface in theater. He was really well known back then. So I take after my grandfather.
Is that sketch that you're next to? Is that you? The sketch on the wall? You just passed it. It was like
Oh
a
yes,
sketch.
that's
Is that
yes, it
you?
is. Tom and I. Why are these people calling me? Goodness gracious. Tom and I went to Tijuana
Wow.
on one of our first dates, and the gentleman. Am I covering up the picture or anything?
You see him.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, really?
See what happens when we're on the Jim
Yeah,
Masters
that's
show?
right.
Everybody calls.
I know. What's wrong with these people? They just keep calling. This is oh my gosh. My wall of memories. There's Anne Margaret. There's Rodney Allen Rippey.
Oh, Rodney's been on our show.
Bill.
Anne's
Oh
been on our
my
show.
goodness.
You're probably getting all the
There's
spam
Bill
calls.
Cobbs. I know. It just keeps saying credit one. Go figure. There's Alexander Long Rifle. Oh my goodness gracious. There's Eric Estrada with my husband. There's my best friend. She passed in December of 2015, or a little bit after that. That's Marion Ramsey. She played Sergeant Hooks on All the Police Academy.
Oh, yeah.
And then right there, that's Patrick, Eddie Munster and the Munsters.
Oh, he was
That's
just
Bill
with us.
Mooney,
Yeah.
who played Will Robinson,
Oh, we'd love to
Lost
get
in
him on the
Space, and
show.
that's Darby
Yeah.
Hinton.
Oh,
Yeah, Darby Hinton from Daniel Boone, and that's Darby's sister Darren. There, of course, is Marty and Shirley, and then there I am with Clint, and there Clint and I when we were just babies, and I was in the Monroes, and he was on my episode of the Monroes.
That is a picture of you and Clint Eastwood as kids?
No, Clint Howard.
Oh, Clint Howard. Wow.
Yeah, Ronnie's brother.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
see him? Am I up high enough?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
That's us today, and that's us as kids.
Oh, I recognize
As
him.
you can
Yes.
see, we're holding the picture, basically.
Clint Howard, who was in a lot of different shows too, right? Ron's brother. That's
Yeah.
amazing, huh?
There's Darcy Donovan, and there's Robert Easton, the Henry Higgins of Hollywood. He taught everyone dialects that they needed to learn in their roles for movies and things like that. But there's Anne Margaret. So I still know her to today.
She's still stunning and wonderful, isn't she?
Yes, she is. She really is. So that's my little wall of memories, basically.
Yeah, it's beautiful that you have, again, all the people that you've worked with and that you know, and absolutely.
Yeah.
Carol
That's
Webster
my
says
little house.
it's
My
beautiful.
little house here.
Little house.
My little house. Oh, did I show you this wall? I don't remember if I did. Hold on.
You know, Carol Webster's here. She's one of the viewers. Welcome, Carol. She says, I spent
Hi,
my
Carol.
life waiting for the next Robert Redford movie. So whenever he would do a movie, she spent her life waiting for the next Robert Redford movie. That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, what do we have there? What are we seeing?
That's The Naked Kiss. My sister Cheryl and I were both in it. We were children that were handicapped, basically. That's Meet Me in St. Louis, the TV pilot from the movie where they tried to make the TV show basically out of the famous movie. And then that's Hang 'em High, of course. That's one of my residuals because nobody believed that I was in it because I somehow was left out of the credits. So I had to prove it to IMDb that I was, in fact, in Hang 'em High, and it does say actor. So, and then that's Once a Thief with Anne Margaret and Aileen Delon. There's Jack Palance and Tony Masante and can't remember this gentleman, very wonderful actor. And then, of course, there's my Monroes. So this is kind of like my wall of fame, I guess you could call it, if you want to call it a fame.
Right. Oh my God, are you kidding? Look at all these people and all these memories. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know,
the one thing that was really nice about being in the Monroes is that back then, every A-lister that there was back then was in one episode or another. There was 26 total episodes, but an A-list actor was always in each episode, like Michael Dunn or oh my gosh, there were just so many of them. Richard Keel and Robert Fuller, and I mean, just everybody you could possibly think of was in my TV series. And would you believe, Jim, that no one has ever, and did I say ever, had a reunion of my TV show? No one.
Really?
No one.
Wow.
The cast is still alive. Barbara's alive. Michael Anderson Jr. is alive. I'm alive. Well, one would say. No.
So,
and then Keith and Kevin are alive. We're there, and we're healthy, and I wanted I wish somebody would do something.
Well, and sometimes when people come on our show, it spurs other things, which is fantastic. We just had like a little mini Love Boat reunion with Ted Lang, Ted Brandy, and Jill Whelan were here. And so we've had some of those reunion types of things. Maybe we can have you and some of the others all come on.
That would totally be cool.
Together.
I would love that. I would love it.
You want to talk to the others?
I can send them all emails, and Barbara's the only one I can't contact. Nobody will let me talk to her.
We'll do a whole episode celebrating the series and all of you together. Right?
Yeah. Did you know, who was it? Hallmark even asked me, we'll do a reunion, very first reunion ever, but you got to get Barbara Hershey. And I'm like, oh, great. Well, I can't. I want to, but I can't. I can get the rest possibly, but it's there are some stars that are untouchable, and unless you are very, very, very good friends with them, you can't even get messages to them. Sad to say, I hate to say it that way, but it's true. I've been trying for many years to get. Like right now, Anne Margaret's doing autograph shows, and I want to do an autograph show for Once a Thief, but I can't even get booked in with her. I just don't understand it. And then Barbara Hershey for the Monroes. The boys have signed autographs with me at the Hollywood show, so that was really a lot of fun. Hollywood show in Burbank and in Las Vegas. And that was a lot of fun. It would have been even greater to have Barbara Hershey and Michael Anderson Jr., but I don't know. Barbara Hershey does autographs shows all over, but I can't seem to book it with her.
Barbara Eaton's still out there doing it too.
She sure is. She's so beautiful. I just love her.
Yeah, it's 60 years ago today when I Dream of Jeannie debuted on television.
Wow, that is, and that was one of my favorite shows.
Was there ever a show that you wish? We have. There's the Genie bottle right there.
Oh my gosh!
Wish? Was there ever a show that you wish you were on?
Everyone.
You want to be on everything, right?
Everyone. It doesn't matter. I'll take it. I'll take it.
You'd like to live next door to Darren and Samantha Stevens, maybe?
That would. Well, now here's something funny. Chris York, who is Darren. Darren was played by
Dick York.
Dick York. Okay,
His
well,
son, right? Yeah.
his son Chris lives down the street from me. So it was really cool because one time I was at a place getting my nails done or whatever, and he comes walking in with this beautiful gift. Oh my goodness. My dog's gonna knock over my phone again. Can you please call her over? She's going to knock over my phone. So anyways, yeah, he walked in and his beautiful wife actually created this beautiful I think it's a cup is what I remember. It's up in my cabinet over there, but of the Monroes. And so that was pretty cool. Just him doing something like that. And he's one of my Facebook friends as well. Very wonderful gentleman, Chris York. Yeah.
Absolutely. As we take a moment and we remember and all these wonderful connections that you have to Robert Redford, the times I had an opportunity to be in his presence. And again, I was mentioning there's a wonderful PBS special that's debuting nationally on PBS. I had an opportunity to host the in-studio segments, and it's a Tim Janis special, Our Natural World Returning to Earth, with Tim and Elizabeth, and it's really beautiful. Yeah, PBS. Robert Redford narrates that, and it's something really, really spectacular. Why do you think people are so moved by the passing of a Robert Redford? What is it about his talent, his wisdom, his panache, his way of being with people? What is it about him that you think will continue to be his enduring legacy? And why is everybody so moved, like me, like you, and everybody watching, by his?
Well, I'll tell you something. Paul Peterson, who is the founder of A Minor Consideration, was the man that actually talked me into doing autograph shows. And this was years and years ago. At the time, I really didn't think that the little bit of work that I did in the movie business or TV business, I really didn't think that it made me a star or something, like a celebrity or something. But he talked me into it finally. And what you find out, and this is going to actually interface with what you were asking, I found out that I affected a lot of people. There were people at the Hollywood show that flew in from Japan, from Australia, from New Zealand, from all over the States, all over, from Texas, from this, from that, and what they do is they come up to you and they tell you exactly what you did for them. Matter of fact, the FCC, you know who that is, right? Okay, so anyways, there is a fan of mine. His name is Harold.
Frank, Carol, and Connie, right?
There is a fan of mine who is now a very good friend, longtime friend. But at the time, he found me on Facebook. It's so funny. Everything happens on Facebook. Go figure. But he goes, "Are you Tammy Locke, Amy Monroe of the TV series The Monroes?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He says, "No way, you can't be. You are?" And I said, "Yes." And so we corresponded back and forth and back and forth. And we even got on the telephone and talked to each other. And he told me who he was and what he did for the FCC and stuff like that. And it turns out that he had no brothers, no sisters, no aunts, no uncles. His father was an alcoholic and his mother was getting there or something like that, I guess it was. And it was because of the Monroes that actually kept his feet on the ground. He says, if it wasn't for the Monroes, I would have probably, gone crazy or something. He says, what I did was I thought of myself as being Harold Monroe. And so each segment that he watched, he just transported himself from his living room into the whatever segment that it was of the Monroes and pretended that he was our brother. And he watched it religiously. And he wrote me this beautiful long letter. And I have published it on my website, tammylocke.com. And so people can go on and they can read exactly what it did for Harold. And to take it back to what you originally stated, Jim, is that you affect people. You do something for them, either bring them out of whatever they're going through, you make them happy, or maybe you made them sad and it brought them back to something which basically turned their whole world around or something like that. And I believe in my heart of hearts that that's what Mr. Robert Redford did for everyone in this entire world, was showed them how to live a beautiful life through the acting that he did, through all of his movies. That's what they live it. And so that's what the fans did for me, is they just shared their stories. And that's when I felt, okay, I guess I was a celebrity back then. And so I try not to think of myself that way, because I'm more of a normal person. I worked at Northrop Corporation, Northrop Aerospace, and I worked, I can build an F-18 fighter jet from wet to dry to fly. And I worked for Hughes Helicopters, the attack helicopter. I was in graphite composites. And my father actually originally put me in the instrumentation department, the instrumentation panel for the F-18. That's where I had to read a blueprint, learn how to read a blueprint, and then solder all of the wires to the toggle switches and made them work. So at one point in time, I had a title of engineer. And so I've done many, many, many things in my life, not just, worked a regular life and as an inventory specialist and accounts payable and things. I also worked, in the movie business, and I can do anything. And that's what my dad taught me, choose another way if you want to. But that's why Shirley talked me into writing the book, is to share all of this, everything that I've done. And so I did.
And even the time that you were the daughter of Robert
Of
Redford.
Mr. Robert Redford, the great Mr. Redford. Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
sort of full
I'm
circle.
very proud.
He really was an extraordinary, gifted individual and touched so many of our lives. And again,
Yeah.
I just really scratched the surface. Peter's Dragon, One More Chance, Our Souls at Night, The Old Man and the Gun. I mean, Avengers Endgame, Some Girls, Promised Land, the Solar Film, The Candidate, A River Runs Through It. It's extraordinary.
Unbelievable movies.
That he's been a Public Trust and Arena and The Big Bang and American Epic and Ocean Warriors.
The Natural.
The Natural, exactly. Unbelievable.
With Glenn Close. Yeah.
Glenn Close.
Yeah.
He will be, of course, greatly missed, but he has left a body of work and a legacy that is intact and will remain, and people will learn from him. They'll use him as a reference, up and coming movie makers and actors and people that just love cinema and they love television. And there's a certain magic, I guess, huh? And you got a chance to experience some of it. Your grandmother knew it too.
Yeah. Well, my grandmother was right there watching the whole time.
Loving every second of it.
Envying the heck out of it.
My granddaughter's with Robert Redford.
That's right.
The rest of them are at the supermarket, but I'm here on set with Robert
with
Redford.
Him. That's right. I'm with Mr. Redford. That's right.
I'm with Robert Redford and my granddaughter. Right?
That's right.
That's the flow of it all.
It was a great time, Jim. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
You're
allowing me to share.
Absolutely. I mentioned that last time when you were here, which I say to all the guests, we like to keep the porch light on for our guests, and because we call these conversations, not even really interviews. And it's beautiful to have you back with us, especially as we take time to remember Bob Redford, Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Extraordinary. Kathleen, thank you very much for your support of the Jim Masters Show. And she's loving this tribute. Love Tammy's laugh and smile and positivity. Thank you both for this. Robert will never be forgotten. Kathleen Walker in New York City. Thank you, Kathleen. Love from me and from Tammy, who's here. Yeah. And that beautiful Irish green. We love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these wonderful comments. Dick York. Brenda says, Dick York was born in my hometown in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He was born and
Oh, wow.
raised at 2901 Lily Street. And the house still stands, as well as Carol Lombard's birth home in Fort Wayne,
That's
Indiana.
wonderful.
Isn't that incredible?
That's cool. Totally cool. Totally cool, man.
Now, you have a birthday coming up, right?
Tomorrow. Woo, woo.
That's right.
I'm young today, old tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding.
No. You are a September baby.
I am. I'm a Virgo. Woo, woo,
And
woo, woo.
I have Virgo rising. I'm a Libra. I'm next week
Oh, okay.
on the
All right.
September 24th.
Yeah, yeah.
So you are September. You are the 19th, and I'm the 24th.
I am.
So,
Yeah.
country music headliner.
That's right.
Why don't we
I
put?
sure am.
I know we're remembering the iconic Robert Redford, and there's a tinge of sadness, but also beauty in that. But maybe wrap it on a positive note, and let's sing each other happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jim Master. Happy birthday to
you.
You.
I think we just broke the windows. We cracked the windows. Yay! High five! High five!
Hey, high five!
So it's good to end on a positive note. Happy birthday, and many more happy and
I love you a lot.
Love you back. Absolutely, my friend.
I'm Tammy Locke on Facebook and Instagram. I'm Tammy Locke all the way across.
She's Tammy Locke in our lives.
And the official Tammy Locke on YouTube and
all of it. That's right. Exactly.
All of the above. Yeah. And TammyLocke.com is my website. I think there's like 4 million hits on it already. So it's pretty cool.
That's fantastic. Keep it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And stopping by to join us in remembrance of the incredible, iconic
Mr. Robert Redford.
Really
Amen.
Cool. Thank you for being with us, my friend, and continue to spread the word about our show. Let's talk about
absolutely
the Monroe's reunion here on the Jim Master
Show
series.
I'm ready. You know, everybody's had a reunion, like the Partridge Family. I mean, an actual where they wrote a script and everything. The Waltons.
Yes,
Little House on the Prairie. I mean, everybody's had a reunion except for the Monroes. And the funny thing was, as I asked Kevin Costner at the time, would you jump on board and let's produce, a reunion? He said, well, if he said he signed a contract with Netflix, I guess it was at the time, or something like that. And it turned out to be Yellowstone. So he would have jumped on board, but he was doing that. So I don't know if he even remembers now, but at least I know he loves me.
He loves you, and we all do, my friend. And
I love you too.
You be well. Thanks again for sharing the wonderful memories of Robert Redford. I know he meant so much.
You got it. You got it.
Did for all of us. And you be well, and thank your better half for taking control of the dogs and everything else, holding them at bay. And yeah, really beautiful. And everybody's saying they love it and wishing you happy birthday from Kathleen and from Brenda and from Jane and from Maureen. Everybody watching this live and who will watch this later, we thank you very much.
Amen.
Tammy Locke, Robert Redford is here with us in spirit.
Amen.
Let's stay in touch, my friend, as we always do anyway. And,
absolutely, my love. Absolutely.
We will see you again soon, okay?
All righty. If you want to hear my husband and I sing, go on YouTube. Tom and Tammy, we're there. We sing a couple of songs together. So and you can see why I fell in love.
And you know what this was? Jim and Tammy.
That's right. We were singing happy birthday, darling.
PTL. Jim and
Oh, it was so funny. A long time ago, real quick share, long time ago, there were these little dolls with hair that was like all, just sporadic all over the place. And when you shook it, it would laugh. And so, all these years, everybody thought I was the originator of the laugh. I get a big kick thinking about that. I'm a self-entertainer, I make myself laugh all the time.
Self-entertainer. Have you discussed that with your doctor?
I'm weird and proud of it, honey. I'm weird and proud of it.
Don't change a thing. Don't change a thing.
All right, darling. You have a lovely day.
You're not weird. They are.
That's right. No, I am weird and proud of it.
Well, don't change a thing, my friend. Don't.
I own myself. Remember, I chose a different way.
She chose a different way. Absolutely. You be well and come see us again. Let's talk about the Monroe's idea and spread the word about our show, and we'll spread the word about what you're doing. And again, a very happy birthday. And
thank you.
Thanks for
tell everybody about my book. I want them to, there's digitals for $10 on Amazon.
There it is, gang. I can do
anything. That's right.
I can do anything.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that a line in the Helen Reddy song? Is that I Am Woman? I
am woman.
Anything, right?
Well, I'm definitely all woman, no doubt.
That was I Am Woman. That was Helen Reddy. Yeah. I interviewed her in college.
Did you? Her? Oh my gosh, I've signed autographs with her.
Delta Dawn and songs. Yeah. I think that's the line in the song. I can do anything. Say, there you go.
Delta Dawn, wasn't that Tanya Tucker?
That's the other one. Delta. She might have sung it too, but yeah, Helen Reddy did also.
Oh,
amazing.
Okay. All right.
See? The things you learn.
You know more than me, my love. You know more than me, and proud of it.
On a wing and a prayer, like we
said.
On
a wing and a prayer. On a wing and a prayer.
We will see you soon. You be well, okay?
You too, my love.
Hopefully this put a smile on your face. I know you've been down.
And it did. Thank you. And I also have got all these tears running down my face. But happy pre-birthday, my love.
You as well, my friend. You take care, okay, Tammy?
Will do. Mwah!
Got it. Take care.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Tammy Locke joining us here from California as she shared some wonderful and unique and rare memories of being, the arms of Robert Redford when she was only 18 months old, and in the arms of the incomparable actress Dinah Hyland as well. And there she is with Dinah Hyland. How cool. As we took a whole episode to remember the iconic Robert Redford, extraordinary, legendary actor, as well as philanthropist, environmentalist, activist, producer, writer, Oscar-winning director, founder of the Sundance Film Institute and the festival as well, and starring in some of your most epic movies of all time, directing and producing and starring. And there's the Monroes, of course, which is Tammy's home. And we're going to try to get them all together too. That would be great. A reunion here on the show, huh? But these are just some of the many, many, many that Mr. Redford was involved in. And of course, a lot of television shows and so much more. And again, we had some wonderful memories shared with us also that I read at the early part of the show. If you missed it, Anne Serling, daughter of Ron Serling, and also actor Scott Bryce had a wonderful story he shared with us. And our dear friends, Tim and Elizabeth Janis, phenomenal producers, and he's an epic composer. They're dear friends as well. and they're all visibly moved by, the loss of Robert Redford. So hopefully this put a smile on your face as we also took a moment to remember this iconic figure in Hollywood and beyond, Robert Redford, Bob Redford, here on the Jim Masters Show. Loved putting this together. We scrambled to put this together real fast for you. Really wanted to share something. That's what we like to do on the Jim Masters Show. We like to bring you in and bring you together with all of us, especially when there's key events like this that are big and affecting so many people. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, like. There's a like icon on the YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up, like. Share this on our YouTube channel, or share this actually on your social media. Share the YouTube link. Leave a comment. Drop us a comment below. Interact with us. What are some of your favorite Robert Redford movies that he either starred in, or that he directed, or that he produced, and other things that he's done in his life beyond film and cinema and television, which is so much. So drop a comment right there. Interact with us. We love to see your comments, and we really appreciate them too. And be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, home to our very special show that we call the Jim Masters Show. And it really is a home when you guys are here. And so many comments that have been coming in as well. Thank you very much, Maureen. And Maureen just recently celebrated a birthday as well. I put this together in like 24 hours, this episode. Usually you take a little more time to put the shows together, but this one we put together in about 24 hours and got some wonderful comments from folks who wanted to be on the show, but wanted to at least be here in spirit with some comments and also share some other beautiful things. Look for that PBS special. Tim Janis on Natural World. I again host the national PBS segments, and Robert Redford is the narrator. We also thank Tammy Locke joining us here, the incomparable former child star, roller derby queen, country music headliner, radio show host, and author. And there's her book. Get it at Amazon and everywhere as well. And again, share your memories of the unbelievable Robert Redford. Post your comments below. Thanks, gang, for being with us. We love having you here. This is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time till next time. Thanks for all the great love and support and comments and everything else. I believe, it should be, you're asking about the PBS special. It should be in New York as well. It's going to be national. So New York, it's already aired in Colorado, actually this summer, which was fantastic. So we've already been on in Colorado on Rocky Mountain Public Television, and now there's other markets. So I'll keep you abreast, Kathleen asking about that. And again, Robert Redford narrates it, which is something real special. So it was a pleasure to meet him. I have to tell you, as I mentioned, he was very warm, professional, funny, witty, and he really took time to meet everybody. And he was funny and warm, but he was serious at times when work was being done, but in a quiet, gentle way. You didn't hear him yelling and screaming and throwing. He was very measured and very focused. Originally from Santa Monica, California, and passed, at Sundance, which he loved so much, in Utah just a day or so ago. So it's hot off the presses. We hope you enjoyed this very special Jim Masters Show tribute episode. We've done many tribute episodes honoring some of the legends in the industry, and I enjoy doing it for all of you, and hopefully it touches your heart and brings back some memories for you as well. Certainly let us know. Again, drop the comments. Let us know that you enjoy what we're doing, and come see us again. We'll keep the porch light on for you as well. And how cool was it that we sung happy birthday to one another at the time of our broadcast now, which is live. Tammy Locke's birthday's tomorrow, and mine's next week on the 24th of September. And thank you very much. I appreciate that. You did a great job despite how fast you put it together. Brenda, thank you, and welcome to the Jim Masters Show. I hope you'll peruse our past episodes and binge watch, and you'll come see us again and look for more great episodes coming up as well. here on the Jim Masters Show. All right, we love you all. Be well, take care of one another, love one another, and come see us again right here on the Jim Masters Show. We'll keep the porch light on for you as well. Be well, take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone, and cheers.